step in the club, looking fly with my crew. See you looking at me, tell me what you wanna do.
Hi, welcome to Girl Talk. It's Niza.
Gigi.
Diane.
Nisi.
And we're jumping on the topic for today. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It means that we're from two different planets. One is more literal, the other species a little more emotional. What do you girls think?
And what does Australia have? Koala bears.
Nisi is, that's her story and she's sticking to it. But I think judging from today's game, judging from the game with Germany. What do you think, Gigi?
Facial expressions is killing.
I don't think we could use that kind of language, Gigi. No, but really, in my opinion, guys seem to be a little more in the literal sense. They're more logical, right? I've dealt with a couple of guys, within my lifetime, my very young lifespan of 25, just so you'll know. And I've come to realize that, yes, women are a little more emotional. We use our hearts, we follow our hearts, and I would say we do tend to, forgive and forget and move on.
Yeah.
On the other hand, a guy, you ever tried cheating on a guy? You ever looked on the outside if a guy got cheated on, what happens? Oh God, I want her dead. Music playing, he can't take it. He losing weight, and you think that's because You think that's because that hurt his emotions? No. That hurt his ego.
Yeah.
That boy head went from 90 degrees to 2 in like 100 seconds flat.
Whereas when a guy cheats on a female, emotional as hell. Females take it on a lot.
Yeah, but we also have the willpower to forgive. We do a lot of forgiving. I think my last boyfriend got plenty forgiveness.
Same here. You know who you are.
I actually think that some women are actually evolving and that women are as heartless as men.
Becoming.
You should say that. Because there are women that would cheat on a guy and have no kind of emotional connection or anything to it. Because women actually are starting to change and demand that they too have sexual needs, quote unquote, and that they want to be pleasured too, just like a man will just get into something just for sex.
I think that's more of a front though, because I guess it will start off that way. Hey, we just in this for one thing. But then as you eventually get closer to the person and you'll start doing other stuff besides what you'll do in the bedroom, it becomes a little more, then your heart starts getting involved. And then we as women, don't necessarily pull back or pull out. I think we do cover it up and we put up a front. Yeah, I'm making my own money. I have my own car.
Independent.
I have my own job.
I don't need no man.
I can get any man I want. That ain't true. Some of us just want to be married, settle down, have children.
That is true. I think because from birth, I think when we born and men are taught a certain way, like what to aspire to, and females are taught a certain way. Because in times seriously, women look forward to marriage before the guy. From since you're born, you're growing up, and it's to get married, have kids.
I have never thought, okay, I want to grow up and get married and have children and have a house. Because I remember there was a time when this guy told me, hey, I like you and I want to be with you. And I was like, I don't want you. I was like, right now I'm thinking about getting my own house, getting my own car. I was like, and I don't see you in that picture.
Yeah.
Right? So happened to end up marrying the guy. But what I'm saying is he really tried. He really tried along the way, and eventually, as you say, probably the emotions get in, and as you start to become closer to somebody, you eventually start to connect.
I think that too, because in my last situation, we met and he was the last person I was looking for in terms of a relationship. But just by hanging out on a regular, all of a sudden it went from yo, I don't want you, to we together. you know, you grow attached to the person, and that's a kind of funny thing because I really think that is emotions. It is
I
the
think that it
emotions.
works different for guys as well because I don't think guys grow to love, really. Like how we could sit down here and say, I didn't really like him at first, but then I grew to love him because he
Yeah.
started doing this to me and started doing that. I know some guys who are in relationships just because they have a
Agreed.
kid, or
Agreed.
because my parents like her, or because she has some money, or because she has a good,
But is that
you
like
know?
right?
because
So
she's a
like
good
honestly, is that right?
Yeah.
Because I think like a male and a female in a relationship, and like I have a friend who with someone, and we had like a conversation, and let's talking about it and stuff, and he was like he don't see himself with the person longer, you know, long term. So my response was automatically, you know, like why even prolong it now if you could tell that from all this time. And he was just like he enjoyed her company and stuff, but on the other end, I think that she's looking for that long term
Yeah, and she's
commitment.
really in love.
You know, so it's like that's the whole communication factor because I think when women get in a relationship, they go in a relationship for that long term commitment. And guys who just be in a relationship because like at this stage at right now they want the company.
Well, that comes back to them being more literal and logical human beings. They're going to see the relationship for what it is and for what they get out of it. If at this point she's not really making me exorbitantly happy, she has a good job, she probably has a good car, she has a good family, so I'll work with it for now because that's just how they think.
I think that's unfair.
It's more or less a literal kind of thinking.
I really
Now, on
think
the
it's
other
unfair.
hand, we would be the ones to be like, well, if I'm not attracted to him and he have a little bit of money, I don't see myself sleeping with him because he have a little bit of money. You know? We don't think like that. We
True.
think like that, sorry. Guys don't think like that. A guy would be home with his wife and get everything he wants from his wife. She will cook for him, she will clean, she will wash his clothes, and still get up, take care of the children and whatever else. And he would still go
Go out
out
and
and
cheat.
cheat on her. Because to them, it's just sex, it's not love. They do not mix love with sex at all, and it's very easy for them. And I've heard this from more than one guy. It's,
Wow.
it's, it's, I don't know.
It's just another coochie girls, basically.
I don't know. Those men sound like, yeah, can I say assholes? Because they sound like assholes. I don't know, because I know some emotional men. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the type of man I've been lucky to meet, but
Diana, are those men in your life right now?
they have been over a period of time, but I know emotional men as well, and it's just that some of them are really good at putting it up a front. You know, that you can't really tell, and they make it seem, okay, I'm cool, I'm heartless, I'm doing this because, being more on the logical side, but they hide in the truth, and women may not really understand or know, but they have feelings deep down in there, and they're doing it because they're driven by, something that, I don't know. I'm not a man, but I think they're emotional too.
Because women were brought up in the sense that if you could show emotions, guys like no, man up, be macho.
They always
you know?
hide it.
So even like in a relationship, you will find like if a woman have a problem, she would communicate and say how she feel, and a
Yes.
guy wouldn't. And then normally communication is key to a successful relationship. So if the woman communicating on a constant and like the guy not saying anything, then it might come across that she always have a problem with everything, and he that's okay. That don't mean
Right.
he that's happy. He does like he not. That is not his norm to
Yeah.
talk about his feelings and say how this affect him or this bothering him or things like that. So I don't know. That's the
But
standards I think that was set from way back when, and now with the roles changing in society, because as Gigi said, women becoming more independent and things like that, and guys having a problem with that now because when they want to be the provider, they were taught to be the provider. Now we have a woman making more money than some men. The ego bruised. So like what they could bring to the table when they were supposed to bring that security and stability, and woman could take care of herself. Now what are you gonna offer?
Well, they just have to work hard at being better. I don't understand.
Or be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
could be
anyway,
saying
social
all
now,
that.
they are the ones emotional and saying how they feel.
I actually think that it really has to do, as you said, with persons and the way they were brought up. Because in my household, emotions was something that you really didn't touch on. All right, if something happened, you just kind of go along with it until it's past, basically, right? So I went into relationships with that same kind of attitude. You have a problem, that's your problem, really. I'm going about my business.
Yeah.
And then men, I have seen men actually, because of me being that kind of person, that they would change. And then they start to seem like the feminine one in a relationship, right? And I have seen tears, I have seen emotions, I have seen things that I thought that I'm supposed to be displaying
And you're
from a
doing-
man. Yeah.
And does that make them less of a guy in our eyes?
No,
ladies?
a lot of men think that crying or being emotional is a sign of weakness, when it really isn't.
It's
It
not.
really is a sign of strength, you know.
True.
It's you dealing with whatever it is, you're crying it out, and you deal with it at that point, and then you move on.
It depends on what he's crying for, because don't be crying for no petty shit, you know. You cry when the moment is deep. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he can't cry because his plate fall. But that's what you have.
Edit this out, that was so funny.
That's it for this week's episode on Girl Talk. Join us again for another topic. Hey, maybe next time we're going to be talking about World Cup. Look out for it.
Sorry.
Step in the club, looking fly with my currency. Looking at me, tell me what you wanna do. Looking for love, I just wanna have fun. I'm heading home when it's said and done. You're coming closer, yes, you wanna dance. I'm all for it, so I'm heading in. Dance all seems like a place to be. No, I won't see if you could handle me. Yeah, do it like that. Whoa, working it back. Teasing you, driving you crazy, but I'm not mistaken.